All right, good morning, everybody. Consider this episode one of my show on my author's journey, my trek through this 85K 90 challenge. Um, so far, not going too good. Basically, I'm at a point in the story where my story doesn't really have a plot. Yeah. So the plot that I was originally planning had about three or four different storylines running consecutively. Well, concurrently, should I say. Um, and the more I looked at it, the more I realized that the story structure wasn't really gonna work. Um, I didn't really have any characters that I was particularly focusing on. I was particularly focusing on storylines. Like I said, my story is a professional wrestling based novel. And so I kind of ran it, like when I first started doing it, I kind of ran it like it was WWE. But then over the course of the years, especially starting last year, I kind of got a lot more into independent wrestling, and I started looking more at how their shows ran and how things worked with them. And I kind of liked the way that, you know, they did things. You know, there was more focus on the wrestling, a lot less on, in-ring promos and things like that. And like a lot less focus on backstage segments. It was all primarily about the wrestling itself. And so now I'm kind of taking a step back and trying to figure out how to restructure the whole plot of my story. And so now here I am. It is the 10th, Friday the 10th of January 2020. And my story still stands at 675 words out of 9,000, 990. I'll figure out words eventually. 90,000 words. But I still got a lot of time to go. The year's still young. And so once I've gotten that figured out, once I figure out how the plot structure of the story is going to work, which is, if you don't really know, because I've got a couple of younger kids that probably watch this channel, a couple of my former students or current students that look at my channel from time to time. Plot is a big part of the story. It is the central driving force of the story. And so I need to figure out how to structure it and whether or not I want to focus on one character in particular or try to focus on each character within each of the storylines. This is going to be a really challenging project, mostly because I haven't done anything this kind of, I guess, convoluted, if you want to say. And so now I just got to figure out a way to streamline it. So that's the plan for the next couple of days or so, because I've got a 3-day weekend coming up, thanks to Martin Luther King Day. And so I got to figure out how I want to structure this story and how the narrative is going to run and whose story I want to focus on. So that's pretty much where I am right now with the story. I need to see how else the story is going to run and what I want to do with it. I'm going to try to come out with these periodic, well, as often as I can. I got a lot of other responsibilities that I got to take care of. I'm a elementary school teacher and a father and a husband, and I work with, I work at the church. Sometimes I volunteer at the church, and so I got a lot of other things going on in my life, and so focus when I'm not doing all of that is trying to get this story written, because I had the story in my head for a long, long time. It's taken many different forms. The basic plot of the story has always been the same, but the structure of the story has always changed over the course of the past 12 years. And so now it's just a matter of getting the story in some kind of order, in some kind of structure that is coherent and entertaining. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today, was the convoluted plot that I'm dealing with right now and trying to get it to make sense. So that's all I have for today. I'll try to, like I said, do this as frequently as I can to give you updates on how the story is going and how my author journey is going. Well, I hope everybody has a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one.